Kenyans, I want us to speak about what's happening in Laikipia County, because a good number of you are just getting things from the surface level, just the tip of iceberg. So my Pokot, Samburu, Borana brothers are quietly aware of what happened in 2017 at Laikipia Nature Conservancy. There is this lady who owns 100,000 acres of land. That is Laikipia Nature Conservancy, by the name Cookie Gulman. There was a very severe drought. No water, no pasture. But in that conservancy, everything was green. The communities invaded. The communities were so desperate. They invaded. And later, even that led to the shooting of Cookie Gulman. The communities burned the hotel and the lodges there. So here is the problem. And before even I go ahead and share this, I want to disagree with this lawyer on Kenyan Twitter called Donald Kipkorir, who is saying the economy of Nanyuki and Laikipia is depending on the British Army, that is Batuk training unit there, or the British people who are living there. No. We've had the likes of Kibaki, who came up with a technopolis like Tatu. So I believe Africans, we can take care of our lands. So Kenyans, there are two issues here. White-led conservation or conservancies. And the other one is what they call green carbon washing. We will come to that. So the issue of white-led conservancy, you might have heard of Lewa Conservancy. That is another 90,000 acres of land that is seated in Laikipia. The problem with this conservancy is all the leadership, all the management of these resources and in the name of protection of wildlife sits with the white people. They manage everything. They roll out everything. Funding, it's up to them. The same case with Olpejeta. Yes, it's now a community kind of a trust, but what you don't know is Olpejeta was transitioned under the management of Lord de la Maya in 1922, and then juzi wakaenda wakainunua. My Samburu brothers, on your way to Doldol, on your way to Oldonyiro, you've seen Oljogi Conservancy. That is close to, 98, or if I'm not wrong, 58,000 acres of land that is owned by an American-French family called the Wildenstein. Currently, it's under the management of Alex Wildenstein Jr. You go there, everything is monitored by drones. Ndugu yangu, dare to go nearby that, utajipata pabaya. And you know the Samburus, the Boranas and the Kikuyus there, you know, wanapewa kazi ya bodyguard, wanapewa kazi ya kuendesha gari, go to Isiolo. The greedy leaders have all auctioned all the community lands in the name of conservancy. Go to Maralal. That is the same problem. Unasikia, the Northern Rangeland Trust, NRT, they are the ones who are managing everything. Which comes to the second issue of carbon credits and green washing. You see, Kenyans, this thing called carbon credit is whereby the big emitters in the world like Shell, Netflix, Total, Amazon, you know, these big tech companies, Tesla, they come to the Kenyan communities and they tell them, we are emitting, but now we are requesting you to take a huge chunk of land, conserve them, plant trees, and then we are going to buy carbon credits from you. Currently, there are only 4 organizations that are selling carbon credits in Kenya. But I'm going to mention one of them, and that is NRT. Apparently, they have a metric unit that I've not confirmed, but it's a huge chunk of money. I think 1 metric unit of a carbon credit goes to anything between 20 to 25,000 Kenya shillings. So this is what they do. They take the money from the carbon emitters, Tesla and everything, instead of investing back into the community. The local women are called, wanapewa mashini ya sherehani. You know, men are given bikes. There are some scholarships they will give you here and there. All those billions of money they get in the name of carbon credits and carbon financing never comes down to the real communities. You can agree with me on this. This has been happening. And you know, Kenyans, you are seated here saying, our lands, when were they sold? You've seen on that documentary, they were so confident. Actually, they were calling the local landowners bandits. How dare you? That documentary was produced by a white man, a Muzungu, and another Kikuyu brother called Peter Murimi. How dare you call the communities living on this land bandits? Who should be the bandits as far as this case is concerned? Batuk, I want to remind everybody here, Nanyuki can thrive without the presence of Wazungus. And even if they will be there to do their things, People should have ultimate decisions when it comes to the management, heritage, and the protection of their land. And mind you, I want to tell the British people here, and any white man in this business or conservancies, we've lived with animals since the time immemorial. We were never accredited with poaching, sports hunting, trophy hunting. These are the things that came with you guys. And what makes you think that you can manage our land better than ourselves? What makes you think so? Okay, you found us here on this continent, and we are the owners of this land. And I want to remind Kenyans, guys, we should stop this slave mentality. You see, you go to Aberdare Ranges. Aberdare is a British name. Lake Ellison, Lake Thompson, Lake Victoria. What is the problem? Why is it that even up to now our natural features and the conservation that we are having is named after a British Johnny? The people who colonized us and brutalized us. I mean, Mau people can know better than me as far as that is concerned. Kenyans, you really need to be aware of what is happening in this country. And it did not start during the time of Ruto, neither did it start during the time of Uhuru Kenyatta, Mwai Kibaki, Daniel Torotich Arap Moi. This thing began even when Kenya, before Kenya got its independence. It's as old as that. Okay? And this narrative should stop that only white people can take care of the nature. No. I'm a nomad. My communities have been living in national reserves. When you go to Kina, there is a huge national reserve there called Bisanadi National Reserve, which is the second largest national reserve in this country. And we've been living peacefully with animals. Actually, there was a time we were living very close or nearby to Elephant Corridor when they were going to drink the water at the Great Wasonyiro River. That is transcrossing Samburu, Isiolo, and then drains into Lorian Swamp. Ndugu zangu, I want to finish by reminding ndugu zangu wa Samburu what led to the arrest of Matthew Lempurkel, the former member of parliament for Laikipia North, who has passed away. It was this. All of the community leaders and politicians currently, some of them are benefiting from this. Some of them are being funded by these organizations. It's a huge multi-million-dollar business that nobody wants to talk about. So for the final time, Mzungu, please, we want to live peacefully with you. We want to be in harmony. But you have no business in our land. You have no business to come and lecture us on how we should be managing our lands. Even before you came, we've been living on this land peacefully, without any kind of interference and problems. The Laikipia thing is more than you can imagine. This is just the tip of iceberg. I have not even mentioned the economic activities happening there. I have not even mentioned the leasing aspect. I have not mentioned a huge tract of agricultural lands where the locals are only laborers. And the people who benefit are staying in London. They are staying in France. They are staying in the United States of America. Tumakinike sana wa Kenya.